So this is my 1.6 HDI Peugeot Partner engine, roughly about 105,000 miles. So this is really just a quick video, because I was, if you haven't seen, so this is my oil catch can that I fitted on my 1.6 HDI engine. So if you haven't really seen that video, you can watch it here. So I really was cleaning it thoroughly because I'm doing some tests. I would like to see how efficient this is. This is the MAN Hummel Proven 200, but this is a cheap version of that, with the metal filter inside. So this really has this metal filter inside rather than the paper one. And I always have people, are they really, is this as efficient as the other one? So I'm really trying to do that. So while I was cleaning it, really one simple thing that you if you have this type of oil catch can, and this really goes, it goes somewhere down there. This comes from the crankcase breather, and this goes back to the oil supposed to be separated in there and then comes out of here. So that particular tube that comes out of the crankcase breather, and I haven't it got stuck somewhere. Unfortunately, I already cleaned it and I can't really show it. But what happened? This stays like that in general. This stays like that in my oil catch can setup. This inside was really with sludgy oil. So when the crankcase breather spews a bit of oil, it really cools down very quickly in here and kind of stays as a sludge oil. So if one really looks, I mean, now it's actually because I clean it, but I had to scrape everything from inside. And what I did, I actually put it in a jar, all this sludgy, and it's still sludgy. I mean, there is no really any difference. So I'll try to open it. So this is actually from that tube, and you can see it's about that much. It's about that much at the bottom. I don't know how much, 10 milliliters, less than that, but it's really sludgy. So I'll try to kind of, so it's that consistency. So you see, this is not even oil. Well, yeah, it's dripping, but it's really kind of sludgy. So one can kind of, is that kind of consistency. So what I really suggest is, if you have this or any oil catch can in that case, if it goes like that, definitely undo this from time to time and kind of clean it. I had to have a knife and kind of take it out from that side, as it wasn't too easy, and then I washed it with soapy water. And now it's pretty clean, but I have to probably do that. The other thing of this cheap version of, I don't know, I haven't really had the original one, so I don't really know if this happens the same thing. The cap at the top, actually, the spring here is actually rusty from all the oil vapor. It's most likely contains quite a substantial amount of water, so it actually really got rusty. So I have to take this one and probably clean it and wax it a bit with some oil. So you have to take care, otherwise this probably doesn't have the same tension, where 50 millibars or so to open, and it's kind of a pressure relief valve. The third thing, which really kind of bothered me, so this is really the bottom hose. So I have a on and off clamp here. So this is my hose that collects the oil inside, and I'll actually remove it. So this is extremely small. I mean, this is really only collects very limited amount of liquid oil. And okay, if this is oil, then it's actually quite a substantial amount of oil. But in winter, because this oil catch can really condenses, and any oil catch can will condense water that's in the oil, that's in the blow-by. This really, you have to, what I was doing, I was emptying this every 2-3 days. Basically every 2-3 days I was just normal driving, let's say 10 miles per day. Every 40 miles or 30-40 miles, or let's say 40-50 kilometers, you have to really empty it. So that's a lot of effort. If you have something like this, I don't quite remember what size this is, 7 or 8, so it's probably 7 milliliter diameter. if it's something like, get something really that's much bigger than that. So it's probably 8 mil, either has shrunk or expanded a bit, but it's roughly about 7-8 millimeter diameter. Get really something that's thicker than that. Otherwise, you really, not thicker, but wider diameter than that. Otherwise, you don't really get anything. And during winter, you have to empty it every so often. So in order to demonstrate that, this is on, this is off. So really, I have a cylinder that's 100 mil. So this is really 100 milliliter of water. So I'll try to fill it up, and I'll show you how much it really this gathers during kind of winter period. Oops, that's up to the top. And what? It's left 55 milliliters. So this whole hose, only 45 milliliter fluid, and then a bit more, 10-15 milliliters in the oil catch can, and that's it. 45 milliliters, it's absolutely nothing. So really get a large diameter hose. And that's it. A few things that I really kind of learned while I was using this oil catch can. One other thing is these plastic hoses, they really, from the hot gases, they really become very soft. So that's why I've put a kind of a link there, a copper piece, something like that, but not a elbow, just a straight piece. So it doesn't really, when I clamp it and put these clamps, it kind of gets squashed here as well. I've put I think this is aluminium piece, and there is one there as well, so it doesn't really get squashed. So that's it. I'll be doing some quite interesting tests on this cheap or fake oil catch can, and compare those, how efficient this is with the actual Mann Hummel oil catch can and another version. Of course, it's never scientific, but these will come. So hopefully you enjoyed that video, and more will come. Thank you very much indeed for watching.